My early life was shaped by prejudice. My dad was an accomplished CPA. He had an MBA degree from New York University, but he could not get a job at a Big 8 accounting firm in Manhattan because he was Jewish, period. So he moved us to South Carolina, where he was CFO of a textile company, which is interesting to choose the South as an escape from prejudice. We wound up seeing a whole different kind. We, like all middle-class people in that town, had a black housekeeper. Charlotte was a wonderful person. My dad came home one day with 4 tickets to a minor league baseball game. My mother had no interest in going, so we asked Charlotte if her husband would be interested in going. Her husband, Jimmy, agreed to go with us if we would pick him up outside of the black neighborhood and drop him off 3 blocks away from the stadium, where he would go to the Negro section and we would go to the white section, and then we would pick him up and do the reverse. We enjoyed his company in the car in both directions, and somebody must have seen us because the next day someone shot our dog. Fortunately, we were able to save our dog, but I was determined, even as an 11-year-old, to be involved in social justice issues.
Harvey's been president of JFCS.
What a source of inspiration to be a part of all this.
He's been president of Congregation Beth Am. He has the capacity to be focused deeply on an institution that's close to his heart, in this case, a particular synagogue. He also sees the community more broadly. That's one of the reasons for his involvement in JFCS. He has a comprehensive view of all the populations in this area that need service, vulnerable populations he cares about.
We work to improve the world, one person and one family at a time. But you may not know that JFCS is improving the world in the public policy arena as well. Our hundreds of volunteers and staff are a voice on behalf of our clients who often can't speak for themselves.
Many people are wondering what the impact is of some of the decisions that are being made on the federal level. Can you briefly?
So we work daily with our public officials in City Hall, in every Bay Area county, in Sacramento, and in Washington, D.C., to effect changes in public policy that can change the lives of all of our clients, not just one at a time. Through my work at JFCS, I began to see that there are Jewish kids in our community who cannot afford to attend college. And I've been able to participate in allowing really talented young Jewish students achieve their goal of going to college and building a career. We have a significant number of Jewish kids who do need help, just as we have a significant number of seniors who are Jewish who need our help. And as a matter of fact, my mom, on a personal note, was a recipient of services from JFCS Seniors at Home when we needed it, and it was an important resource for us to be able to call on.
So a great example where Harvey really showed leadership is around the resettlement of Jews from the former Soviet Union.
Over the course of 3 decades, JFCS resettled more than 40,000 Jewish refugees from the former Soviet Union. To welcome this wave of Jewish immigrants, JFCS partnered with dozens of organizations and synagogues, and on the peninsula, especially with Harvey's congregation, Beth Am.
Harvey helped organize to welcome these folks, to help them acclimate to all that was new.
For more than 25 years, JFCS and Beth Am invested significantly in serving this population of Russian-speaking Jews. Now, I see families that have become part of the community and are leaders in the community, and we will be eternally grateful to JFCS.
Partnerships don't happen automatically, and they require attention and the right kind of leadership.
Rhoda Goldman Plaza was a very interesting board to serve on and to chair. Running an assisted living facility is not an easy thing to do. It required that we create new quality standards and that we hire our own staff as opposed to using staff at the third party. We had a huge boost from JFCS.
JFCS and Rhoda Goldman Plaza share space together, and many of the residents of Rhoda Goldman Plaza are beneficiaries of the programs and services that JFCS provides. That partnership works as well as it does because Harvey has a way of getting to solutions that make all our institutions much healthier, able to adapt and to be vibrant going forward.
We had a somewhat romantic beginning. We met on a train.
The train was taking us from New York to Maine.
This was our first year as counselors in these summer camps.
Everybody was all excited. We had just graduated high school, and the question was, where were you going to university in the fall? And we were both going to University of Rochester.
I was determined that I was going to marry this woman. I think I proposed to Andrea 4 times before I finally wore her out. And we've been married now for 52 years. So you can make good decisions at the age of 17. Beth Am has been my spiritual home since 1975. I was asked to form its first social action committee. And so about 4 years ago, we asked members of the congregation whether there was an issue of social justice that inspired enough members of the congregation to make it a major initiative for the synagogue. We landed on unequal access to early care and learning. As soon as that popped up, I knew there might be a fit with what I had learned at JFCS through its Parents' Place operation.
What's that? A sheep. And what do sheep say? With a baba here and a baba there.
The human brain develops so dramatically and so incredibly fast in those early years that if a child misses the opportunity to literally strengthen those neural connections, he's going to miss an opportunity for life. It's been extremely rewarding for me doing advocacy work in Sacramento and Santa Clara and San Mateo counties, working with JFCS, working with local and city school boards and boards of education, working with statewide advocacy organizations, preschool providers. It's all extremely fulfilling.
Harvey is someone who has been so successful in the private sector. He was COO, a CFO, managing director of $1 billion investment fund. So when Harvey comes to me and advocates on behalf of an issue, I know he's done his research. These are numbers that I can trust. And he's somebody who's coming with real thoughtful, thought-out solutions. That makes Harvey incredibly effective as an advocate.
This is a human infrastructure.
I like it.
We need to invest in our kids. And if the policy is right, we ought to be able to make the politics work.
Let's make it happen.
Harvey Schloss is a force of nature. He's a biker and he's taken some tumbles. He gets back up. Harvey is my hero.
I believe we need to do everything we can to make sure that JFCS continues to be a light for people who need social services in this community for generations to come.
Harvey is passionate about the mission and vision of Jewish Family and Children's Services. It's like that Blues Brothers movie expression. Harvey is on a mission from God, and we all are the better for it.